If you want to grab our men's lifestyle supplement and male advantage ebook, all links are in the bio. But you have testosterone receptors and estrogen receptors in your brain, okay? Now, they found in this study when you're masturbating and watching porn, testosterone receptors turn off. So you've got, you've got thousands probably in your brain. You might even have millions, who knows, right? But they turn off in your brain. Estrogen receptors start switching on. They become more apparent. Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. In this video we're going to be talking about NoFap. It's something I don't talk about enough on this channel, but it's because it's become such a lifestyle for me now. It's not on my mind, I don't really think about it. But talking to a friend the other day who was kind of describing all the symptoms of NoFap, then I asked him the question. He was like, yeah, I kind of fap every day. I was like, you got to stop. And it reminded me of how it used to be, how I'd go on, like, in the first 6 months to a year of doing it, how I'd go on like a 1 month streak, feel like a beast, conquer the world, and then you'd fap once and you'd go, fuck, I feel like shit. I don't want to do anything today. Like, that's the day over. I don't feel confident. Somebody messages you, do you want to meet up? You're like, nah, I just feel like sitting in the house. I feel ill. Like, you make an excuse because you don't want to be seen in public. It's weird. It's really weird. But it just brought it back up to me about how powerful it is. And I think I found out why, guys. I think I found a study which really explains why. And for years, everybody's used that one study where testosterone peaks for the week and then drops the second week and then basically goes back to normal on the second week. But the study stops there. And people have used this for years to say that NoFap increases testosterone. But we don't really know. It increases it for a week, second week goes back to normal. We don't know what happens after that. The study didn't go on beyond that. You know, we don't know if after a month, after a year, after 5 years of doing this every day and having sex with real women, if your natural testosterone levels don't just spike higher and then stay at this higher range. We don't know. Over a 5-year period, I'm sure there's going to be a difference, okay? But one concrete study that we do have now that I found, and I'll try and link it in the bio, is to do with your brain. And the brain is so important when it comes to testosterone. And I'll keep this simple, no scientific stuff. But you have testosterone receptors and estrogen receptors in your brain, okay? Now, they found in this study when you're masturbating and watching porn, testosterone receptors turn off. So you've got, you've got thousands probably in your brain. You might even have millions, who knows, right? But they turn off in your brain. Estrogen receptors start switching on. They become more apparent. I've told you guys before, you can't have one without the other. If testosterone's high, estrogen's low, and then, vice versa, one comes up, one goes down. Looks like it's the same in the brain when it comes to the receptors, which is crazy. Now, why is this important? Well, if you're doing NoFap and you're masturbating and your testosterone receptors aren't picking up on you, you could have the highest testosterone in the world. It would be great for your body, whatever, but if your receptors in your brain aren't picking up on the testosterone, then it's going to change the way you think, behave, etc., everything that comes with the brain. And if your estrogen receptors are up and they're registering more estrogen, less testosterone, well, guys, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand you're going to think more like a female. And this is what's happening to so many guys. Just think back to your worst NoFap days. Oh, I feel terrible about myself. I feel really insecure. I don't want to go anywhere. I'm having mood swings. Oh, I don't feel great. Was that person thinking about me? I feel really depressed. What's my ex up to? I wish he was still with me. I'm going to masturbate some more. These are female qualities. A guy who's on NoFap, like every guy will say after like a week or two, they're waking up at like 5 a.m, they're in the gym, they're smashing it on their business or at work, whatever, and they're like, this is the best performance of my life. I was way more confident, I was approaching women. Or you think about a woman, okay? They're not exactly, there are women who are driven and dedicated, but I would say the majority of people in any gym in the mornings aren't women. They're not, let's get out of bed, let's strive for something in life, let's punch my way through 100 walls, let's get on those phones, let's start making some sales. They don't really have that level of behavior. Women aren't going to go and approach the man, it's the man approaching the woman, and this is what happens. It changes your brain chemistry. You start thinking differently. And I've made videos on this before. I saw Dan Bilzerian speaking about this recently because he's 40 now, and he was really saying that he needs to keep his testosterone levels high with TRT in order to continue what he's basically been doing. He doesn't want to lose these traits that I'll speak about in a second. And I put this at the end of the Male Advantage book as well. I believe it was the end because I just finished the audiobook, which is coming soon. I just got to edit it now, but it's all recorded. I did it myself. And I put it at the end that once you go beyond 40, keep those testosterone levels high, because having high testosterone is it's great for the body, etc. But for the brain, when the receptors pick it up, it makes you more ambitious. Studies have found, okay, this is proven studies, it makes you more likely to take risks. It makes you more competitive. It's all these traits that they found in gamblers, like, if somebody was going to go and win it all, they had high testosterone. Like, they were more likely to go, fuck it, put it all on red. Well, that's bad in that scenario, but in a business sense, somebody who goes, I'm going to take a big risk in life. You need these things in order to succeed, to see a woman and go, fuck it, I'm going to roll the dice, I'm going to risk it all to see what happens here. You need these kind of things. And I've written an article on this. There's multiple traits that testosterone is linked to mentally. Like I said, more competitive. You're more likely to get the woman. You're more likely to be driven and self-motivated. You're more likely to be curious and stuff like that. There's so many traits that come with this. And that's what's happening when guys are masturbating and watching porn. When we all say, my testosterone feels so high, I feel so good, it's definitely boosted it. We don't know. But one thing we do know, and it kind of seems more logical, is that it's changing the way you think. And anybody who's ever accomplished anything in life knows that it starts here. It starts with the mental. That's why I'm always encouraging you guys to kind of change the way you think, change your mental psyche. Because then once you do that, you're a whole different person. And the other shit you can do yourself. Like, you can put it all together. That's why every successful person starts with self-help books and then moves on to more specific and beneficial books that will actually point them down a career path rather than this just generalization of improvement. It's because the mental side of things is so important. Your body could be tired, your body could be knackered, testosterone in the body is slightly lower, but as long as your receptors are picking it up and they're changing your brain chemistry and they're telling you, let's get driven, let's get motivated, let's get out of bed, let's go and get something done. I feel confident today. I feel like just going into the day like a powerful man and accomplishing big things. I feel competitive. I feel ambitious. It's all things that testosterone, once picked up by the receptors, will do to your brain and change it. That's why guys get to like 40, 45, 50, and they just go, I don't care. The kind of ego disappears because they don't have those traits which got them to the dance in the first place. Which is kind of good in a way because they're more empathetic, it's easier to raise children, teach other people, things in life and whatever. You don't always want to be a savage, you know what I mean? But in terms of masturbating and watching porn, you want to be a savage when you're young. You don't want to be masturbating and watching porn and just feeling lethargic. Like, every symptom of fapping or watching porn, everybody always talks about, I just feel demotivated, I can't be bothered, I've got low energy, I feel depressed, I've got high anxiety, I feel bad about myself. These are you're basically describing a female. This is what so many women do, just depressed, sat there, just eating chocolate, led in bed, watching Netflix. This is what guys turn into because that's a high estrogen thing. But we can't do that as men. We're not sexy with big tits, wide hips, and a nice ass. Like, we have to get out into the world and accomplish shit. We have to crush the day. A beautiful woman could just sit there and do nothing all day, walk out on the street, and a millionaire driving by could be like, you're hot, can I get your number? Next thing you know, they're married, she's got kids, her life's ticked, she never has to worry again. Never going to happen to a man who's out of shape, not driven, looks like a bum, not dressing well. We need that. We need our testosterone to be high in our bodies, but also we need these receptors to be turned on. So every time you go to masturbate, every time you go to watch porn, remember, it's going to affect who you are. It's going to affect the way you think. When you walk into a room of new people, you're going to feel a little bit insecure and anxious. Female traits, because your estrogen it's not really high. It's just your brain is estrogen dominant because it's being picked up by the receptors in your brain, and the testosterone isn't. It's just kind of being rejected. Every time you masturbate and watch porn, you're becoming more female-like. And that's why guys struggle so much. Oh, I'm anxious. I'm depressed. I feel so bad about myself. I don't look good. You sound like a woman. You know, just stop masturbating, stop watching porn. You watch your brain completely change. You know, then you will want to get in the gym. Then you will want to go and do new things. Then you will want to go and approach that woman, you know, or get on camera here and speak to 30,000 people. I can't believe it's going to be 30,000. 30,000 for me is a big social account. I've always said that. I've always wanted to hit 30, and then anything above that is a bonus. So thank you guys for all the support. Very, very close now. I think we'll get there by probably like the end of next week or whatever. But, you know, things like this, just getting on camera, whatever. Like shaving my hair, whatever. I know I've got a hat on, it looks like I'm insecure, but you look at all my other videos, just rocking the bold look. I don't care. Like when people say you're going to get a hair transplant, I just don't care. Like not for a long time. That's because my testosterone receptors in my brain are telling me, you're fine, champ. Just crack on with your life. Who gives a fuck? You are who you are. Enjoy it. If I started masturbating and watching porn, I might be signing up for a hair transplant next week. That's how your brain's going to work. You know, my competitive nature, my desire to learn more, my desire to be the best, to have the best shit, to chase all this stuff down, whether it's right or wrong, it's getting me out of bed in the morning. I was up this morning 5 a.m. I was in the gym at 6. I was home by about 7:30. By 9, I was sat at my desk, already eaten, gym session, read a little bit of my book that I've got on the table at the moment. And I was cracking on. I was doing things. Okay? I was replying to comments. A few of you probably saw that I replied to comments around about 9, 10 o'clock in between that hour. You probably got a reply from me. That's what I was doing. I was cracking on straight away. And that comes from your brain telling you, let's go, let's get out of bed. Like I said, if I started masturbating and watching porn, I wouldn't be that way. I wouldn't be able to do it. I'd be thinking differently. And having that chat with my friend the other day brought all of that back. And it reminded me of how I used to be when I was a little bit insecure. Before I left the house, I was in the mirror for ages, like checking myself out, making sure, ooh, does this look okay? Now I just get up, put whatever I want on and just go out the door. And I'm just as confident as I would be if I was wearing a 10 grand outfit. And I didn't realize at the time, until I've looked back, the big change and the trigger towards me being very secure with myself and in my life and being confident and wanting to be driven and do things, it was pretty much when I started NoFap. If you want to grab our men's lifestyle supplement and male advantage ebook, all links are in the bio.